All right, and so up next we got a fight that we believe is kicking off the main card, but these sources are all kinds of crazy, so we're going based off the UFC website, and that currently has Tyson Nam and Matt Schnell kicking off the main card here. So Tyson Nam, we've mentioned him a few times in this card already today, but he comes in at 37 years old, rocking a 20-11-1 record. He did make his UFC debut back in 2019, so very late in his career, with consecutive losses to Sergio Pettis and to your son, Kai Kara-France here. And then, he did bounce back in 2020 with back-to-back wins against Adashev and against Jerome Rivera in September, both by KO. So very strong showing for Tyson in 2020. On the flip side, we got Matt Schnell here, rocking that 14-5 record. He lost his Ultimate Fighter finale to Rob Font, who, again, we've mentioned a few times today. So very credible fight there. Since then, he's gone 4-2 in the UFC. He does have notable wins against Luis Smolka, who we also mentioned today, and Espinoza. So, very credible fight here for sure. He recently did lose to Pantoja in the first round in 2020, so he'll be looking to bounce back from that one. Going to be a tight one for sure. What do you see here, man?
Yeah, so we get to finally see these guys who are kind of making a mini resurgence in their careers do battle. They were scheduled once in September and I think once in December again. So it really is a fight that's been, mini Tony Ferguson, Khabib, if you will. But I think it's a great opportunity for both guys, right? Tyson Nam was able to display his striking against an up-and-coming prospect in Jerome Rivera, who we spoke about earlier. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Matt Schnell, another alumni from a huge, tough season that I personally enjoyed, the one that was based around flyweights, to get a title shot towards the end. It was actually Tim Elliott, the classic legend, who ended up getting that title shot. So that was a great fight too. So it was one of those things that put some flyweights back on the map to get the fight, to get the division kind of, and fluctuate with a bit more fighters. And I think that's where Kai Kara-France kind of got a good name. And it was a nice little resurgence for all of those lower classes. And so I think this is another example of that, right? We're going to see if both guys can mix it up. Obviously, Matt Schnell's chin, that's something that's very questionable, and Tyson Nam is going to test it. But there's areas to this fight where I think both guys have an opportunity to win, and it makes me really question, who's going to make the mistake and who's going to kind of finally put that nice streak together if they can in the next little bit here. But it's a tough one to call. Both guys are just true vets of the sport, and UFC classics, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. This one's going to be a tight one for sure. Are you leaning on either side in terms of a favorite here?
Yeah, so the thing for me is I'm looking at the losses with Kai Kara-France and Sergio Pettis, and those were also when both of those guys were fairly young and on the come up. And Matt Schnell's been away for a while, but we've also seen him fight pretty good guys, and even his losses. We talked about some of the names, and so I want to throw him a bone here. Yeah, I think he put together a pretty good streak. I think Pantoja's a monster. I think he's one of my, underrated fighters that anytime he's fighting, I make sure I watch that fight, because every fight he's in, it's very exciting, 100%. And to be honest, he's a tough fight for anybody. The Brandon Moreno fights are a great example. So, I mean, I really have to lean Matt Schnell, and I'm going with the line of -125.
All right, so Tyson Nam is actually the favorite, and it's at -138. So, still right in that pick'em range. It's a very close one to call. The live line is still -138, so +110 on Matt Schnell there.
What's the under in that? Do we have access to that information?
No, none of those are out yet. No, none of those are out.
We're definitely going to keep an eye on the under in that fight. I think there's an opportunity for both guys to kind of, even in a 3-round fight, find a way to get that win. Even if they get tired, they seem to have the energy to maybe push through. And I think chins are chins, right? We can see if that comes into play as well.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that one, and it's going to be a tight one for sure.
No question.
That wraps up UFC Fight Island 8. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that bell button. All our information's below: Instagram, Twitter. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, shoot us comments, whatever you need. Anything else you want to plug here, Siraj?
I mean, plenty of dogs on this card, so it might not be as exciting as some of the picks that we released for the upcoming card on Saturday, but keep an eye out. This card is a lot of fun fights. Forget the gambling stuff. This is a very fun card to watch. You got two contenders, headlining, and like Pi said, follow. We got plenty of MMA stuff coming out, and as always, man, it's always a pleasure, man. Love doing this shit with you. Can't wait to keep going.
Likewise, brother. And yeah, like you said, man, we get this on a Wednesday. It's a real treat. We're going to have to sacrifice watching the challenge that night. But, we get a nice UFC treat on a Wednesday. So enjoy it. And yeah, always a pleasure, brother.
My man, take it easy. Peace.
Later.